Hello and welcome to the Front Office Podcast. I'm your host, Marcus Cameron. This show is sponsored, as always, by Tees and Trees Clothing. Tees and Trees is where we stand on business. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon. Whatever time you're checking in to check out the Front Office Podcast, we appreciate you. If you like the show, make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you don't like the show, by all means, all comments are welcome. Let's just keep it PC. No racist or goofy shit. All right. Today is Thursday. Well, it's about to be Friday. It's about 11:40 at night. I did a podcast, somebody else's podcast, for the first time, man. So shout out to Daryl Williams, man. This, that, and the third. I met some dope people. Bam, Shannon, David, and Sakaro. I hope I'm saying that right, Sakaro. She actually has a show. She's located in DC. Beyond the Basket, I believe, and they have a cocktail portion. I have not subscribed, but I promise you, Sakara, as soon as I finish this particular show, before I lay my head down, I will find y'all on YouTube, subscribe, and try to put it in the comments before I post this video tomorrow morning. Very interesting show. I thought it's a conversation that is a really hot topic as far as the WNBA, who was responsible for the rise. I thought Daryl and Shannon and Bam did a great job of, asking good questions. And my thought process was it's the women's college basketball. Women's college basketball is, I'm not going to say they dominate the men, but it's way more interesting. It's way more interesting because the NBA has grown so much to the point to where now with NIL, you start seeing these kids in college, freshmen, getting $400,000 or $500,000 to attend the school. You have the OTE elite leagues. You got the G leagues. To me, that kind of waters it down a little bit. Not necessarily the money. I'm all with somebody getting paid. I'm not knocking the money. But you don't see these kids coming back for another year. You don't see these kids coming back to stay with the same program to say, I want to win a national championship. The transfer portal, which is very active in the women's sport. Haley Van Lith from LSU transferred. I think it's SMU that she's going to somewhere. She transferred from Louisville before that. So you do have players who transfer, and that's going to be a thing. I don't think it's a problem. I just think it has to be managed with the right type of temperament from the right coaches and athletic directors and programs. But for the most part, most of those girls are staying there. Dawn, out of the players, that 12, 13 players, she's probably going to lose 2. I mean, she's winning the national championship every other year. She's got 3 of them. It's a winning program. It's top notch. You can't really ask for much more. They produce multiple WNBA players, which Aja Wilson, which is currently the best player in the WNBA, is from USC, and she went to Hammond. So she's Columbia, South Carolina, homeborn. Shout out to her. But it was a really good discussion, man, with some good people. Bam should be protected at all costs. He know what it is. He's a clown. And I thought Daryl just did a really good job of navigating the show. So if you get a chance, make sure you check out my man Daryl on This, That, and the Third with his host Shannon and Bam. The Team USA thing for Caitlin is kind of dying down a little bit, but Sakaro actually brought up a good point about some questions that Caitlin Clark was asked about how does she feel about her namesake being used, racially or negatively. And she was like, I don't really pay attention to that. And Sakaro felt like she should speak out. She should say, I don't support that. I don't think that's appropriate. Even if you're a fan of me, I don't think it's appropriate. And, she's not wrong in that thinking. But I'm still looking at a young lady who is very young. And all of this is new. You know what I mean? All of this is new. White, black, purple, green, whatever it is. The racism is not tolerated. But at the same time, I can't expect one athlete to change the mindset of people who want to think a certain way. It's great when our athletes and our entertainers speak up. I love what LeBron James does. I think Jaylen Brown does an amazing job. The ESPN analysts, especially the African-American ones, they always speak up for the rights. Stephen A., And you have some of the Caucasian analysts who actually don't stand for stuff like that. That's something that's to be done as a people. It helps when you have athletes. It does. But when they had the civil rights movement, the priority wasn't getting Muhammad Ali to be a part of it. You know what I mean? The priority was get as many people, like-minded people, to get something done. And I think if we approach it that way and stop putting this stigma on athletes that they have to be our spokespersons just because, and not saying that that's what she was saying. I'm just saying I think some people process that and think that athletes and entertainers are supposed to be our spokespersons. They're supposed to be the better version of us, But my man who delivers, who picks up the trash, he got a lot to say and he makes a lot of sense. And he might not affect you or me or anybody watching this show, but you take 200 of them and they're worth 10 athletes. They're worth 10, entertainers or rappers or whatever. You know what I mean? So we just have to value ourselves and what we can do as a people. As far as Kaylin is concerned, man, I just think I'm coming from just a basketball standpoint. I'm super impressed with everything that she has to deal with. She's not the best player in the WNBA. Hell, as of right now, she ain't even the best rookie, even though she's leading rookies in scoring. I think Angel's the best rookie right now. If we had to call out a rookie, I think Angel's the best rookie. She's had a great adjustment and had the most impact so far. I think that's fair. But the way Kaylin has handled it, dealing with everything, you can tell, she's tired. And everybody, oh, that's an excuse. Yeah. She stopped playing basketball for 2 weeks, got drafted in WNBA, and another 2 weeks is in the season with a completely different team, completely different offense, playing against players who are much, much, much better. Man. So I think it's an adjustment. I think you'll see her get better, but WNBA is in a great place. It's in a great place. I'm happy the place is in, and I hope it continues to be where it is and continues to grow. I gotta work on that shit, man. I be in here by myself, man. But let's move to game 3, man. Game 3, NBA Finals, Dallas Mavericks versus the Boston Celtics. All right. Yes, I was wrong. David Reed, nice fucking call. I get it. I get it. Okay. I was wrong. And I think 97% of fucking America was wrong because everybody thought Dallas would play better and get that shit done. And they did. They played better. But Luka did a little bit too much crying. Fouled out in the fourth quarter with about 4 minutes to go. Jaylen Brown lost his fucking mind in the third quarter. Tatum was great first half, second half, kept him in the game. Drew Holiday, man, his name is not being called enough. The defense that Drew Holiday is playing and has been playing since he's been on the big stage is nothing short of greatness. Nothing short of greatness. If Drew Holiday makes it to the Hall of Fame, absolutely should be a first-time ballot Hall of Famer, in my opinion, because he's not done. They're going to win this championship, and he's probably going to finish second, maybe third in MVP voting. I think he made the All-Star team this year. He's made a couple All-Star teams. He's won a gold medal with Team USA. He's playing with Team USA this summer. Absolutely. Drew Holiday, first ballot Hall of fucking Famer. All right, put some respect on Drew's name, man. He might not be getting the points. He might not be doing the shit that they show y'all on SportsCenter or whatever clip you watching. When you watch that game, man, Drew Holiday is playing his ass off. For real. Seriously. And I just think the Celtics are just better. I said it before the season, before the series started, man. They're just a better team than everybody else. I don't think it would have mattered. I think the matchup, me and Daryl discussed that today. I think the matchup of the Timberwolves is what I wanted because I wanted to see, and you have to deal with the athletic Ant-Man. See, that's the difference, and I think nobody really took that into consideration. Maybe some people did, but that's what I saw. I saw a Boston Celtics team that is athletic, high basketball IQs, been together for a while, great chemistry, and a deep team. And I saw the Dallas Mavericks and two unconventional players. Kyrie Irving is athletic. He's probably the best basketball, has the best handles that we've ever seen. Or, it's debatable between him and Iverson and Curry. Hell, even Strickland, to that matter. But, definitely top 5 as far as handles is concerned, and just a flat out dog, a killer. But he's not dunking on nobody. Not when nobody's under the rim. He's not skying for 8-9 rebounds a game. Luka Doncic, definitely top 5 player. I never bought into the whole face of the NBA bullshit, but definitely a top 5 player. Nothing athletic about him. So when you start attacking those type of guys with the guys that you have, and you keep bringing them in waves, it's Derek White this time, it's Drew Holiday this time, it's Jason Tatum, now it's Jaylen Brown. That's tough. You got Porzingis. Porzingis didn't even play, and they still were able to pull off a big win. That's a big win, man. I mean, that's a series breaker. I will say this, though. Luka does have to stop crying so much. The fact that he actually looks over to the bench and, cousin, you better fucking challenge him. How about get your fat ass up, man, and move. Move your fucking feet. All right? I'll say the same shit about LeBron when he be bitching. Get the fuck down the floor, man. Move. Get the fuck out the way, bro. Like, what are you doing? We trying to fucking win, and you doing all this fucking crying. I get working a ref, and I think that's what disgusts certain people is you're working a ref while you're playing. Like you're literally dribbling the ball, talking to the ref. Like, bro, wait for a dead ball, man. Go, pull them side to side. Say something, whatever the case may be. I don't play in the NBA, so I don't know if that's something that they're allowing you to do or the refs have said, don't come talk to me after the play. But if they are allowing you to talk to them during a dead ball, you can't tell me that the conversation can't be more effective having it during a dead ball. If the foul got called on you and the guy you fouled is on the free throw line, go have a conversation. Go have a conversation with them. Stop making a fucking spectacle of this shit, because that portion of the NBA, nobody fucking enjoys. There's not one person that's like, yeah, bitch and complain to that referee. Nobody enjoys that shit, man. So take the shit out of the game. Y'all literally can control that. The NBA don't have to give you nothing. They don't have to pay you nothing. None of that shit. Just stop all the bitching. And that goes for LeBron. That goes for James Harden. That goes for every single superstar. Nikola Jokic, Jamal Murray, Anthony Edwards. Every superstar, your favorite superstar, bitches and complains. They all need to stop it. I'm with y'all on that. All right, it ain't just one person. I know y'all want to put everything bad ever on LeBron, but it ain't just one person. Jordan bitched too. He bitched too. And you fucking Jordanites, go fucking look it up. And if you got a problem with what I'm saying, by all means, put it in the fucking comments, man. Test me, bro, because YouTube is available to me too. All right? Y'all motherfuckers going to stop changing the narrative on this shit because you don't like somebody. All right? You're going to stop changing the fucking narrative on this shit. Michael Jordan bitched. Magic Johnson bitched. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar bitched. Larry Bird bitched. They all bitched. They all bitched the referees, man. They just did it differently. And I support and I respect the OGs for that. They did it differently. I've seen Michael Jordan with them hands on his shorts bent over 1,000,000 times having a conversation with the referee while the other team is shooting free throws, or even his teammates shooting free throws. That's how you work a referee. Not by crying while you're walking up the court or putting your hands up when somebody is trying to, you turn the ball over and they running down the floor, but you sitting here looking like a goofball with your fucking hands up. Come on, man. They got to do better than that. That part is not an attractive product, and they need to change that shit. They tried the flopping shit. It's hard to tell when these motherfuckers be flopping, man. It's just hard to tell that shit. So, I watch high school games. They do it in the high school games, man. They're not as good, just like they're not as good as far as basketball yet, but it's filtering down. You know what I mean? So hopefully they'll figure out a way to get that. I thought Kyrie was better. I thought Kyrie was much better, and I thought he did everything he could. I thought Luka kind of left him hanging. You got 5 fouls, bro. You got 5 fouls, and it's going to take both of y'all to beat that Boston team. And that's a big ask. But it's definitely not going to just be Kyrie. That's crazy to ask him to close out the game and you done fouled out over some goofy shit. That loss is on him. And don't get me wrong, it's not all on him, but you definitely play a major part. And it's okay. He'll bounce back. Doesn't mean he's not a good player. I heard somebody on ESPN is like, oh, the stat was Luka Doncic is the Dallas Mavericks are a much better team, analytically, defensively when he's off of the floor. Well, who gives a fuck? because you need him on the floor. You know what I mean? His defense was good enough in the Western Conference Finals. His defense was good enough in the Western Conference semifinals. You know what I mean? His defense was good enough in the first round. You know why his defense isn't good enough? Because he's playing the best team in the NBA. That's why his defense isn't good enough. Any other team, his defense is probably okay. His defense was good enough against Minnesota. It was great against OKC. All I heard these ESPN analysts talk, that Dallas has really cranked it up on the defensive end. And now you fucking shocked when they playing a better team with better athletes and he can't guard them. Yes, I agree. Luka needs to get better. And I agree with Jay Williams, what he said on Get Up this morning. He doesn't have to be elite, but you do have to be able to move your feet. And, bro, when you foul, just move on. Move on, because when you're doing all that, you're getting out your game. You know what I mean? Jaylen Brown is out there out for fucking blood. All right? Jaylen Brown. If you're not watching Jaylen Brown right now, I am. I'm shocked. I'm impressed. Shout out to him for standing on business. It has earned every penny. I'll say it again. Every penny of that $300 million contract. Shout out to Jason Tatum. He said something very smart, and I just think it shows how the IQ of these kids now that at such a young age, because they've already been exposed to so much. He said it. He said, when I was scoring a bunch of points, not losing, they were saying I needed to chip. Now, when I'm on the brink of winning the championship, I'm not scoring enough. You're never going to make the media happy. It's their job to keep shit going so they have shit to talk about. Nothing wrong with that, but that's their fucking job. All right? It's their fucking job. You know what I'm saying? So, predictions, man, the series is fucking over with, but I think for ratings purposes, I think they'll let Dallas get one. I honestly thought they were trying their best to give Dallas game 3 as far as the way the game was officiated. And Dallas hopefully can get over it. They did look a little defeated in the press conferences. I told you I like to watch the live press conference after the game because you can really get a real raw emotion of where that team is. You don't have to be in the locker room. Just pay attention and read between the lines. You know, nobody showed up for a shoot around today for the Dallas Mavericks. That lets me know they are a little broken. They're regrouping. Hopefully they can get one, push it to Sunday, and we'll see what happens from there. But for right now, we did pick the Celtics. Been picking the Celtics since the beginning of the year. I'm happy about that. That's a small win for the Front Office Podcast, baby. And we did a show today live on Facebook, man. So it's been a good day. A little bit, I actually want to, for my subscribers that subscribe to the channel, man, if you could, man, send a prayer up, if you're that way. I'm not pressing anybody to believe in something that they don't. But a good friend of mine, man, I'm not going to say his name because I know he don't want the business out, but his brother's struggling with cancer right now. And it's not looking good. He's home. He's trying to spend a lot of time with him. I grew up with this guy. I've known his brother for years. Even when his brother was away, unfortunately, doing a little bit of a jail bid from a mistake made as a young man that any of us could have made. And when I finally met him, man, he was nothing what I thought. He was well-spoken, smart, intelligent guy, caring, cares about his family, God-fearing man, and shout out to him. Like I said, I'm not going to say the name because that's not my family business to be putting out there, man. But if y'all could, please just put a prayer up, for anybody who's out there struggling with cancer. That'd be dope, man. You keep your head up, homie. You know who it is. I'm your host, Marcus Cameron. The show is the Front Office Podcast. The clothing line is Tees and Trees. I'm going to get at y'all after Game 4. Peace.